Test, test. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty here. In just a few minutes we'll get started. Just need to check and make sure that the audio is good. Unlike my last video. Alright, sounds like it is good. Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the stream. JT Kerr here. We're going to be flying the default Cessna 172 G1000 from Canton, Michigan, up to Alpena. The estimated flight time for today's flight is going to be 1 hour and 48 minutes. The real big reason why I'm doing this flight is I just installed some ortho scenery for my home state and want to go check it out. Also installed a couple other things today. Got my Mr. X airport scenery installed along with his forests. As you can see, we have some trees in the taxiway and along the runway, which I can tell you that they are not there in real life. But we will look for a fix for that in a later date. Stream will be starting here soon, so please sit back and relax, and I will be back in just a few minutes. Hey, Sly Robocop. Yep, this is going to be the G1000 for this flight. I'm going to be going over the kind of a quick startup procedure and then planning the route into the G1000. Right now, I'm putting my daughter to bed, but I will be back here soon and we'll get going. Alrighty, we are back. Alrighty, so if you are just joining us, or if you fast forward past the beginning part of the stream here, we are flying the default Cessna 172 G1000 from Laminar Research from Canton, Michigan, up to Alpena, Michigan. Just got done installing some Ortho scenery, so we're going to be checking it out. This video, you may see some things that I do that are a little bit differently. That may be just to speed up time, or not feeling very immersive today. But just bear with me and we'll get things going. Alright, so we already did the external checks on the airplane. So we're coming in, we're going to test our standby battery. For a flight on IFR rules, we're going to be holding this button down for approximately 30 seconds just to do the test. Alright, and we'll say that's a good quick 30 seconds. Then we'll turn it to ARM. This brings up our primary function display. Now that we have power on the aircraft, we'll turn on the batteries, turn our beacon on, just to warn people that there's power to this aircraft and it's going to be starting soon. And my co-pilot would like to say hi to everybody.
Hello.
Alright, so we have everything up here. Now, we'll get the plane going. With the standby battery, you could program your route and everything in here first, but since we own this airplane and we're not really worried about the fuel cost and, you know, the rental, will be good to start her up. So start it up, turn our fuel pump on, increase, looking for an increase in our fuel flow there. Alright, bring our fuel back down, pump off. If I could open this window, I would. Yell clear prop. Introduce the fuel. Here are our RPMs. Bump it up and keep it about 1,000 RPMs. This will help the plugs from getting fouled, as well as help everything warm up pretty quickly. Alright, so now that we have everything on, we'll check. Fuel flow is good, pressure's good, oil temperature's coming up, EDT is going to be alright. Vacuum's good, fuel quantity not good. So we'll fix that real quick. Alrighty, now we are full. So we'll come down here, turn our avionics bus 1 and 2 on. This will bring up our multifunction display here. So for our route, not used to it being so quickly. We're going to be going to KAL. Sorry about that. KAPN. Regional. Go ahead and click activate on that. Now I'm going to come up to my flight plan. We have Alpena already highlighted, so using the inner knob, the FMS, the bigger one, we'll rotate, the little one, we'll rotate that to the right and put in our first waypoint of GCOV. So it's going to be JE. Again, using the outer knob. I'm sorry, clear that real quick. Alright. airway, Victor 133. And we're going to be exiting Victor 133 at MBS. So, Midland Bay City, Saginaw, New York. That. Come down here to APN again. Continue. Now we're going to be using Victor 45 up to sometimes this part can take a little long, but if you find it rather quickly, it's nice because you don't have to go through and drop waypoints on the Load that. Alright, and APN, so our flight plan is good to go. Oh, still not used to that. Flight plan. One thing with the real aircraft is your transponder. We'll go to Alt as soon as you take off. It does not do that here. So I'm going to turn that on right now, just so we don't have to worry about doing that later on. Alright, we are heading in a northerly east direction. So we're going to fly at 5,500 for this trip. Got our beacon on, landing, our nav lights on. Turn our taxi light on, and before we head out, let me just check my iPad for the winds here, because there is no notice. So the nearest airport will run is 14060 at 10 knots. So we're gonna head and take off to the north, which will help us out. All right, so slide Robocop. What you do is here I had Polar is going to be actually that's the first waypoint into the airway. So I entered this GCAV waypoint, and then I scrolled down to my destination airport KAPN, clicked on menu using the inner knob. Scroll down to where load airway popped up, and when I click that, it allowed me to select which airway was available from Chikov, and then I chose my exit point from there, and that's how I did it. Hope that makes sense. If not, once we get to Alpena, remind me, and I'll be able to do it again for you. Also, thank you for the follow, Slide Robocop. Greatly appreciate it. Not sure why I didn't hear the alert go off, but greatly appreciate that. Alrighty. So we're gonna start a taxi here and dodge all these trees that are not there in the real world. Also weird that there is no control tower at this airport either, so I'm gonna have to find a way to go in and clean up some of the scenery here, because this is a very tiny airport with a very tiny runway. that loading in the airway is very, very helpful, especially when you have a long flight and you're actually flying on the airways. It saves a lot of time. Though I will warn everybody that there's a good chance maintaining the center line after we take off might not happen as smoothly, but we'll see. It's a simulator. Ready? Run into this tree here. Slow down. Turn our landing lights on. Get our strobes on. We are not flying with air traffic control or other aircraft, so it's just gonna mess in the sky. Increase our power.
FSE flight not started.
And FSE low, so that is over. So we have taken off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn autopilot on. Go to flight level change, that way we can fly at 80 knots. Flaps up just to. Now I'm going to hold direct to. Nice thing about this airport in the real world and here in the sim is, as you can see here, the magenta, or the blue line that goes around it, we are just underneath the West Bravo airspace for trip to Boston Airport. Taking off on the just joining us, doing a C2 trying to maintain VFR as much as possible. So far, amazed. This is what I was talking about. Slide over cop is we're set to 5,000 miles. If I zoom in, you see the aircraft is kind of falling off a little bit. The magenta line. I'm not sure if that's just the software or plane's correcting for stuff like that. I don't actually say that it's probably just a software issue within the actual G1000. The only time that I go in past 5 miles and around the airport, sometimes I'll zoom into 20 or 30 8 minutes there, we'll have a turn going up. So you can see that. So I am also using Project Fly, version 3 that is currently in beta. So I'm going to type in exclamation point around. So you can see 12 minutes. And we are watching. Give you 1250. 1250 here. Are you running out of There's 2,000 feet. The insert. You can see I'm off the track. But if you look at the CD guide right here, it shows that I'm on a 10 knot headwind, 0 knot, that 10 knot crossover, 0. So you're looking for outside of the Alright, give me 1 second with some clouds. Pretty nice you can get far from Alright, so we're gonna pull back, pop this back up. Pull that. Yep, it is normal. I haven't flown the G1000 aircraft in the real world in just over a year, but from what I remember, it's normal, the real unit as well. I think it's just because you're so zoomed in that it offset the line. And the only time I really zoom in like that is when I'm at airports exiting ground. Just kind of give me a better situation for this. Taxi diagram, or just the way the taxiways are laid out. Primarily use ForeFlight with their georeference chart. That's my primary. I zoom in on the G1000. Slide over the top. Can you confirm if you can hear me okay? How about now? Is it better now? Test test 1 2 3. Hopefully the audio is better now. Yep, I see what you mean there. Alright, so we got a turn coming up in 7 seconds. Let me bump this out just so you can kind of see. We'll give it a 0.375. And we're starting our turn early. Coming up to coming back on the line. As you can see in the inset on the primary display function or function display is yeah, it's currently online. Keep an eye on that, make sure that it stays like that. Let's see if I can fix this sound. Yep. Now we're starting to kind of fall off to the left of it. So Sly Robocop Do you have any add-ons or anything for X-Wing that you're using, or any favorite aircraft? So, Cyrobacop, do you have any add-ons or anything for X-Wing that you're using, or any favorite aircraft? So the MFD, the screen on the right hand side, I'm at 2 miles. I'll bump that up to 5. We can even go 7.5. And then on this right side, I'm at 2,000, but it looks like my aircraft has disappeared. There we go. She's back. So 2,000 on the inset here, and then 7.5 miles on the MFD on the right. So the MFD, the screen on the right hand side, I'm at 2 miles. I'll bump that up to 5. We're gonna go 7.5. And then on this right side, I'm at 2,000, but it looks like my aircraft has disappeared. There we go. She's back. So 2,000 on the inset here, and then with us going into Havoc, we drop some RPMs here, so bring it back up to 2500. If you're just joining us, or if you're watching this later on the VOD or on YouTube, currently on a Michigan Ortho scenery tour. We've departed Canton, Michigan, and heading up to Alpena, Michigan.
Aren't you gonna answer them?
I did. I talked to him.
How many people are watching? What about Nightbot and Project Flybot?
Those are two robots that help me keep the chat organized.
Okay.
Go to bed.
After we're done flying, can you take me more samples?
Yes.
Thank you. Can I stay in my room and watch TV very quietly?
No, you can read a little bit.
I'm done reading my book. I've read it 17 times. Okay, I'm just gonna watch my computer. I'm watching my computer, and I'm gonna wait for you. Because you said you give me more snuggles, so I'm gonna wait.
So with this scenery being zoom level 16, I believe it was. You've done an excellent job. Kind of making me a little homesick right now. So the airport that you're looking at underneath our right wing is Flint International Airport. They have a couple commercial airlines out of there. Then the next big airport that we'll see is going to be when we make our next turn. That is MBS. It services the Saginaw, Midland, and Bay City area of Michigan. And Delta, I believe, is the only airline that flies into there. And they fly out of Detroit Metro, which is a very, very short flight. Pretty much by the time you're up in cruise, it's already time to land. We currently have about 59 minutes left in the flight. And we are 45 seconds coming from our next turn. Next turn is going to be Cleo. So we'll have 2 waypoints before we reach MBS. But not expecting that to take too long. Should be at MBS in about 12, 13 more minutes. That is interesting that the insert here is bouncing like that. Hey, Tech? Is that how you pronounce your name? Tech? Anyways, welcome aboard to the stream. Currently flying in the great state of Michigan. Welcome aboard. Mr. Peter Hoover, good evening. How are ya? Rocking the with you emote. Appreciate that. Big smile on my face right now. Alrighty. Well, with Tech and Peter Hoover joining us, just to reiterate what we're doing, I spent pretty much all day getting some Ortho scenery, and finally got it installed about an hour or so ago. And so we're just doing a quick Michigan tour from the Detroit area up to Alpena, Michigan, which is northern Michigan area. And maybe call a night there, or we'll keep going. But it's great seeing everybody come out. I've been giving a lot of thought into streaming, and did a little bit of stuff here and there on a different computer, and that computer just wasn't able to handle it. So finally got it upgraded, and finally got enough nerves to jump back online and live stream and make some videos. Hopefully we'll be able to get back in a real airplane here soon and actually make some real world flight videos for everybody. Been really looking forward to doing that. I'm in the process of switching flight schools, so as soon as I can hear from the other flight school, we'll be good to go. Fix that Discord link here while I've got it in the back of my mind. There we go. That will hopefully fix it. So one thing that I am trying to improve on myself is the ability to talk on camera. So if there's any questions that anybody has, or any conversations that you want to have, all I ask is that they're clean and not political. Then feel free to ask questions, or or yeah, just hang it back and enjoy the stream. All right, so right now we're about 8.5 minutes from MBS, serving the thumb area of Michigan, or I guess the Saginaw Bay area of Michigan. We'll be flying over that, then starting our turn towards the northeast, up into Alpena. About 54 minutes left remaining in flight. As I tell my lovely wife when she asks how long I have, it's 54 minutes flying time, but I'm not guessing the approach. That may or may not take a little bit longer, especially if I'm flying with VetSim or Pilot Edge. Yeah, so far, I'm pretty impressed with this Ortho scenery. If you're not familiar with X-Plane, all the scenery that and textures and stuff that you're looking at are free, and they can be created with a program called Ortho 4 XP. Or if you don't want ortho scenery and you're just kind of looking for like mesh data and elevation and terrain, then ultra high definition mesh version 4 is good. The ortho I'm using, I got through the explain.org forums. It was one of the top 10 sceneries for the year, and I just downloaded that and did a conversion into from JPEG to DDS, and so far it seems to be working pretty good. Also installed Mr. X's airport environment and the forest. Yes, I am current. Tech. I'm assuming you're talking about as well as far as real world flying. Kind of hoping that's what you're talking about. Yep, I did my flight review back in November. Then did some takeoff and landings. Last flew actually right before Thanksgiving. I've been out of town pretty much the whole month of December between my work and taking some time off and going to visit family back up in Michigan. But yeah, trying to stay current as much as I can. I'm currently enrolled in the commercial pilot course at an airport near where I live, but I'm in the process of switching back to the airport that I did my instrument rating at in 2013. So really looking forward to getting back with that old flight school. Had a good instruction. The program was very solid, and they have a very good success rate. And since we're on the topic of flying, got my private pilot license back in 2012 up in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Then did my instrument rating down in Chesapeake, Virginia. A couple months after I got my private pilot license. Currently have no desire to fly for airlines. Just kind of like flying around. For me, it's a good way to kind of relieve some stress. And I enjoy that feeling of kind of being like free up in the air. having the views, the sights, it's very calming and relaxing for me. Thought about a couple different ways to stay flying, and working and building hours and everything like that. Now, if I did do anything commercial route, I'm not talking with the airlines, but maybe try and get on with a FedEx feeder or these small freight airlines and fly like caravans around to smaller airports. I think that would be kind of fun. On top of doing that along with like ferrying aircraft, I think that'd be a blast. A great way to see the country. Also, becoming a corporate pilot, that's been that's been a pretty big thought in my mind as well. Flying the a Challenger 300 around, I think would be kind of fun. So how about you? Anybody here in the chat a railroad pilot or working on it? I guess I should throw the disclaimer out too. Yes, I'm a railroad pilot. I do use the simulator to stay proficient before I go and do a flight or to go and shoot instrument approaches. Sometimes I don't always fly like a railroad pilot. I'll get up here and do stuff for fun. So if you see me doing something that's off that you wouldn't normally do in the railroad, please be sure I follow the book when I fly a real airplane. And I try and do as much as I can with the simulator, but sometimes I don't. Alright, let's jump out here and do another flyby. Alright. So, as you can see, we are turning over MBS Airport in Michigan. This bay of water right off of our right nose is the Saginaw Bay. So far, pretty happy with this ortho scenery that I'm using. The only difference between what we're looking at now and what's actually in Michigan is probably some snow. But again, I've heard it's been kind of warm there too, so snow might be gone. But so far, everything looks pretty amazing. Dane, how you doing, man? So my controls that I have for the simulator, I've got a Saytech or Cytec Pro Flight yoke system, and then I've got their rudder pedals, and also have their I've got 2 of their throttle quadrants right now. That's what I'm using for the controls for the aircraft. I do have some software for the iPad that I use for the gauges and everything, but I don't have room to set up the full flight simulator, so just kind of using the bare minimum right now. Okay. All right. Not sure if it's clipping or cutting out for anybody else. If you can hear me, please let me know in the chat. If not, then I will try and work on it. Got about 41 minutes left of flight time before we reach Alpena.
We have 4 people watching.
Yep. We have 4 people on board.
3 actually.
3.
And we're not including me.
Nope, not including me. So we have Fat Aftermath Kid, which you know who that is.
No.
You know who that is? We have Sly Robocop and Tech, I believe. Uh-oh.
How many subscribers do you have?
Subscribers 5.
How 5?
Hmm?
How 5?
How 5?
Yeah.
Oh, Tech, that's awesome. How, what airplane are you flying right now? Are you training in the Skyhawk or Piper? Or, I guess the Diamonds are being used a lot now. What plane are you training?
And like scrolling is just funny. Oh, here's the one for money, by the way. I can't. How come you don't have a thing that pops up like this when somebody subscribes?
There is, but I am not a, I don't have the, because I'm so new, I can't have subscribers right now. I can only have people come follow me.
You can have subscribers. Yeah, you said you had 4.
I have followers.
It's 6 people are watching.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how the watching now number, how accurate that is, because people come and go. But when I go to click on the viewer list, I've got the loyal fans that have been with me throughout the whole flight.
Is it delayed?
Mm-hmm. It appears to be delayed a little bit on my side. Still trying to figure out a good way to, keep the chat window up and everything, so I can talk with everybody.
Daddy, why don't you do a giveaway? Maybe like you could say you can win a free hug.
Hopefully giveaways will come soon, but we're not quite there yet.
How'd you just give me free socks? Can we stay here, Daddy?
You need to be in bed.
But you promised me you'd give me circles afterwards.
Oops.
Daddy, I'm gonna be watching my computer while waiting for you. Okay,
Alright, come back over in the simulator, hop back in. 35 minutes. And 71 miles to Alpena, Michigan. Again, I appreciate everybody coming out here and being a part of the stream. For myself, this is my second big full stream that I've done. You can catch my last one, which was a Pilot Edge group flight from San Francisco to Salt Lake City. That's available in my videos. You're right there, Fat Aftermath Kid. You are due for another real flight. So am I. I'm hoping to be able to get back to Michigan a lot more than I was able to when I lived in New York. But between my travel schedule and everything like that, and all the good points that I get, we should be able to make it happen. Hopefully, before it gets cold again. Maybe this summer we'll talk to Andrea about coming back in. Anyway, sorry about that. So yeah, I posted the Salt Lake City group flight on YouTube and also on Twitch here. I would say probably looking at Twitch is easier. YouTube, I've got to get some things fine tuned with it. I've got different username and stuff on there. But yeah, really hope to do a lot more streams. Get more proficient at it, get better at it, get better with the interaction, and entertain. That's a word I have not used in several years. So with Fat Aftermath Kid, with you being from Michigan as well, taking a look at... Oops. Gotta make sure I'm on the right monitor when I do this. So taking a look at this this scenery for Michigan, how realistic does it look in comparison to what we get to live with? Or, well, what you guys get to experience and I get to experience whenever I get home. Okoltek, the 152 and 172. Those are both good airplanes. Have probably about 3 hours or so in the 152, and most of my time is in the 172. I did my private pilot training in the Piper Warrior 2, which was a blast. I actually really liked flying the Warrior, but it would have to be a very close call if to say that I liked the Warrior better than the Piper, or the Piper better than, I'm sorry, the Cessna better than the Warrior. And if it came down to buying one or the other in the real world, whatever's got the better package, I'd say. The better engine, better avionics. Which hopefully buying an airplane will happen within the next 5 years. So some other things that you can expect for to come down the line. Definitely be doing some general aviation streaming. I'll also be streaming the Flight Factor 757 for when I fly for my virtual airline, or I should say the virtual airline that I'm a part of. FedEx VAC. Those are a good group of people over there. I also do a lot of FS economy flights. I fly on FSC for a pretty rapidly growing group, and also do some ferry flights for a different group. And to protect those whose permission I don't have of telling you which group it is, I'll let you know. Hey, El Graxo? Hopefully that's how you say your name. Welcome to the stream. Happy that you're here with us. I'm happy to officially say that this is the most people I've had on my channel watching me stream ever. Really, really appreciate it. So yeah, welcome aboard. Hang out. Feel free to ask questions. The only thing that are off limits are politics, and keep it clean. I have a 10-year-old who comes in here every so often. So pattern altitude is going to be 1600 MSL. So what we will attempt to do is fly around or fly over the airport, enter a left downwind for runway 19. So we'll be landing to the south, up in Alpena. And then we'll probably be calling it a night after that, and I will be seeing what I can tweak to make it better, and smoother, and hopefully the delay is something that I can control. Algraxo, I'm with you. GA is amazing. And when I switched over to X-Plane from Prepared and FSX, and FSX and Prepared, it was all big heavy airplanes. The PMDG 777, the 737. I jumped ship before the 747 came out, so I missed that one. But when I came over to X-Plane, it's majority of what I do is general aviation. Outside of when I fly for the virtual airline, then I'll fly the 757 or the Caravan or the Cessna 208 Caravan for the cargo routes. Again, this Ortho tour that I'm doing, so far I've been very, very impressed with the quality that I've seen. Pardon me. All right, time for a shameless plug. If you like what you see, if you like the general aviation or Ortho, or want to be a part of this tour, plan on keeping it going for a few days. Canada's politics. We might be able to let the Canadian politics happen. I'm just trying to keep from any big World War III type debates going on in here. But yeah, anyways, if if you want to watch the tour, or if you want to want to follow the stream and watch me grow, help me grow, I'm always open for suggestions. Please feel free to follow me, or send me whispers or messages on here. I only have the chat window up right now, so I can see the chats. I'm not sure if I'll get any whispers that come across, but if you have any suggestions of what to make or how to make things better, please definitely let me know. To heck, I am my day job. I am in the military, the United States military. So yeah. Also, with my job, I do quality assurance. Let's just say for the Coast Guard, and that means I do get to travel a lot. So there may be times where streams will be kind of sporadic, and when that happens, please forgive me. Maybe I can look at doing kind of like some real world streams at the different destinations that I'm at. That might be something fun to do. But I'm always open for suggestions. Thinking about also going back to being a controller at VATSIM. in streaming the scopes. Just kind of keeping it aviation related. Maybe every now and then you'll see my daughter beat me in NHL 2018. But main focus for the channel is aviation. And again, everybody that's here, thank you so much for being a part of it, a part of the stream. It was really making my day. If I had a webcam, I'd show you the big smile on my face, but since I'm currently located in my bedroom, and I don't have a green screen, nor do I have a room for green screen, we might be off the webcam for a little bit. I'm really sorry that this is so delayed. I am keeping my eye on the chat. I am responding on here the best that I can. Just hope that if you ask a question, you get my reply sooner than later. So if you look at the overlay that has my call sign and my departure and arrival airports, you see underneath it says powered by Project Fly. Project Fly is currently in version 3 beta, and it's a great freeware software that it's not only useful for people who stream, but if you fly a lot and you want to keep like a virtual or digital logbook of where you've flown and what your landing rates are, it's a great software to use. It also allows people to guess the landing rates of the person who is streaming. When I land, there may or may not be a box that pops up that says, landed at negative blah 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 feet per minute. If that is the case, it's been off and on, so I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. But it'll let you know what my landing rate was. Down the road, we can do predictions. If you want to predict what my landing rate would be, and then it'll kind of give you a shout out for being the closest to predict what the landing rate is. That's kind of cool.
guys, it's your boy Crucif